Aloha, I'm Saratina, and today on the Saratina Show, coming from you from Ehrenberg in the desert. I think it's Friday. No, it's Thursday. It is Thursday, January 12th. See, when you live in the desert, you just don't need to know these things. Feels good in the tent. Oh, feels really nice outside. So today I want to start with some bells. And in the next 23 or 4 or 5 or 6 minutes, I'll be discussing resentment, the silent killer. So, I follow Louise Hay, and I have for many years. So, I'm not a certified Louise Hay anything, but I play one on my show. But I have been following this book for a really long time, and there are other words I've been wanting to talk about, anger and things like that, but what's really come up is resentment and how I see it, coming up in people's lives every day, and it is really the silent killer. And then as I started reading Louise Hay this morning, I came up with a little something, and then at the end I did a positive affirmation, so all in divine timing. So, yesterday I looked up the word resent. It is a verb, and in my dictionary, which is a Webster Dictionary for students with a special encyclopedia edition, we're learning a lot from this thing too. So, in there, the word resent is a verb, and it says to feel annoyance or anger at. Resentment is a noun. A feeling of angry displeasure at a real or imagined wrong, insult, or injury. And I want to talk about resentment because a lot of people might have had a situation that happened to them like a long time ago, and they're still holding that. And they say that, that's like poison in your body because it's not hurting someone else, it's just hurting you. So, and then this was really clear to me why I really wanted to share this, because, my son and I fight. We heard dog fighting down the road. He heard, owls fighting the other night. Sometimes you hear animals, but we hear other animals and things and such all around fighting. And we're all together all the time, so we fight, and then we talk about it, and then we work through it. But after I got the feeling, what word came up for me was resentment. We needed to clear resentment. That was my message. And I really realized that after reading this, to feel annoyance or anger at really is in the moment. So what we are doing too is not only are we hanging on to things that are past and hurting ourselves, but all these resentments that are happening in the moment that we really need to clear. So I'm going to touch on those and then get through it. And thank you for being with me and sharing this information. Like I said, I'm reading from Louise Hay. And the first page, there's like 8 or 9 pages in the back of the book that have to do with resentment. So on page 20, under I find that resentment, criticism, guilt, and fear cause more problems than anything else. Resentment that is long held can eat away at the body and become the dis-ease we call cancer. Criticism, as a permanent habit, can often lead to arthritis in the body. Guilt always looks for punishment, and punishment creates pain. When a client comes to me with a lot of pain, I know they are holding a lot of guilt. Fear and the tension it produces can create things like baldness, ulcers, and even sore feet. Then she goes on to say, I have found that forgiving and releasing resentment will dissolve even cancer. While this may sound simplistic, I have seen and experienced it working. And I can add to that I once was friends with a woman who had something in her eye. And when I said, "You've got something in her eye," and she said, "Really meanly cancer?" And I felt the anger and that tension and all of those emotions. And in that moment, I saw how quickly, if you have something like this in your body, that multiplies. So giving it thought and giving it power to something, and angry, the fact that you hate something, or multiplies what's actually happening. So then we come over here to page 77. This is good. The resentment of another's good. I had a client who loved attention and usually came to class late so he could create a stir. He had been the baby of 18 children, and he came last on the list of getting. As a child, he watched everyone else have, while he just longed for his own. Even now, when someone had good fortune, he would not rejoice with them. Instead, he would say, "Oh, I wish I had that," or "Oh, why don't I ever get that?" His resentment of their good was a barrier to his own growth and change. So there is an exercise on dissolving resentment, and I'll go through it really fast, and then you can also do it on your own really slow. This is on page 91, and this says exercise, because we need to dissolve and release and let it go, or else it's going to build up in our bodies. Like I said, even like having an argument with someone in the present moment might create some resentment. It needs to be out of our body. So there is an old Emmett Fox exercise for dissolving resentment that always works. He recommends that you sit quietly, close your eyes, and allow your mind and body to relax. Then imagine yourself sitting in a darkened theater, and in front of you is a small stage. On that stage, place the person you resent the most. It could be someone in the past or present, living or dead. When you see this person clearly, visualize good things happening to this person, things that would be meaningful to her or him. See her smiling and happy. Hold this image for a few minutes, then let it fade away. I like to add another step. As this person leaves the stage, put yourself up there. See good things happening to you. See yourself smiling and happy. Be aware that the abundance of the universe is available to all of us. The above exercise dissolves the dark clouds of resentment most of us carry. For some, it will be very difficult to do. Each time you do it, you may get a different person. Do it once a day for a month and notice how you feel lighter. So then we're going to go over here to page 118. And this is nice because I found on this page that I had just written up a laughter yoga for nomadic life and van life. And that refers, in there, Dr. Madan Kataria refers to Norman Cousins, who laughed for 10 minutes a night. He found that 10 minutes of mirthful laughter gave him 2 hours of pain-free sleep. So in here, I've never noticed this before, but she says, laugh at yourself and at life, and nothing can touch you. It's all temporary anyway. You could read one of Norman Cousins' books. He cured himself of a fatal dis-ease with laughter. So I just noticed that this morning. So we're going to do some more laughing. And because on this page was also something about resentment. So she says here, releasing resentment can be fun if you want to make it so. Make up a little song about the person or a situation that is so hard to release. When you sing a ditty, it lightens up the whole procedure. The quicker we can laugh about the whole thing, the easier it is to let go. And I just find that amazing because people are always saying, let it go, let it go, let it go. There's a Frozen song about it. And I don't think people really understand how to let it go or what it means to let it go. Let go of the thoughts. You don't have to think them anymore, and the feelings, you don't have to feel them anymore. So let's see. Rejoice in others' good fortune. Don't delay your own prosperity by being resentful or jealous that someone else has more than you. Don't criticize the way they choose to spend their money. It is none of your business. All things that we hoard inside of us sometimes, right? Okay, so then on this page 169, I think a lot of people might. I'm wondering if people like resonate with this, but she says, Cancer is a dis-ease caused by deep resentment held for a long time until it literally eats away at the body. Something happens in childhood that destroys the sense of trust. This experience is never forgotten, and the individual lives with a sense of self-pity, finding it hard to develop and maintain long-term, meaningful relationships. Because of that belief system, life seems to be a series of disappointments. A feeling of hopelessness and helplessness and loss permeates the thinking, and it becomes easy to blame others for our problems. People with cancer are also very self-critical. To me, learning to love and accept the self is the key to healing cancers. So then, over here we have, she says that dis-ease can be healed if we are willing to change the way we think and believe and act. So if you turn to the page in the book that looks like this with the probable cause, the problem, the probable cause, and the new thought pattern. Cancer says deep hurt, long-standing resentment, deep secret or grief eating away at the self, carrying hatreds. What's the use? So my new thought pattern, written with my left hand, says, I lovingly forgive and release all of the past. I choose to fill my world with joy. I love and approve of myself. And if you haven't joined me before, I'm writing my positive affirmations with my non-dominant hand, which I feel like goes back to healing our inner child. So now we have all this resentment. What can we do? First of all, everybody needs to take responsibility for themselves and their own lives. If you drop it, pick it up. If you say it and it's mean, then you apologize. And taking full responsibility for your actions. When we take responsibility for ourselves, we stand in that power of not being the victim. So we want to release. You can write it down. You can journal. You could write a letter to a person you might have, a hurt with. And I've learned to, if you journal and you do your script and no one sees it, you can crumple it, throw away, tear it up, put it in a fire, release it into the universe, but it gets out and through you. You could write a letter to the person. You don't even have to ever give it to that person. Again, rip it up, just releasing it from you. You talk to the person, and you can also do Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian, I don't know if it's like a prayer or how you say Ho'opono, but so you say things like this: I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. Some people, might say the word, I might say, Everett, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Some people move it around, please forgive me, I'm sorry, I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Whatever works for you releases what's going on inside of you and really clears the air with that person. Like the thing said, put the person that you're having regret and problem with, up on stage and see them getting good. And when you say Ho'opono, it really clears what's going on between you. And then the last thing we can do is have gratitude. And waking up with a gratitude meditation every day, having gratitude, saying thank you to people, and being grateful for what you have. This all really comes back to being so present. So many people are living in the past and living in the future, and they're not being present. So if you're watching me and you're being present, you don't have to worry about, anything else. And we can learn to go, I think we need to learn to go just a little bit slower. So after I did all this morning and I wrote all this stuff down, This is the Louise wisdom card that I pulled, and it says, I release all old hurts and forgive everyone, including myself. I can never get even. Revenge does not work because what I give out comes back to me. The buck has to stop somewhere. Yeah, I think that's great. Louise Hay, Wisdom Deck, and like I said, right after I did all this writing, this card came up. So, I'm on the right track. And we can end with a laugh and clap your hands and say, ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Here we go, yay! Patting your own self on your back and hugging yourself and saying thank you. Oh, feel the breeze, feel the breeze. I gotta get outside, So make it a great day.